Comment on this YouTube channel, Two Clean Johns. Whoever you are, you have been secretly dominating uploading Twitter Spaces. That guy hit subscribe for him.
All right. Salute to. I'm sure everybody wants to talk about it. If you want to ask any questions, go ahead.
You know I do.
What are your questions? I have a response coming, so I might not talk too much about it, but um,
I figured that. I figured that.
yeah.
I don't like how they did you, man.
What did they do? What did they do?
I do like that you proved their point. I don't like how they tried to make the situation bigger than what it seemed to be. And wait, let me correct something. They are only responding to what you said on that space, that clip that they played, right?
Yeah, I think what happened was Too Clean dropped the video last night while they were recording, while I did my spaces, and I think they stopped it and I started listening to it. And I actually think that's what made them emotional was that they were reacting in real time. I think had they waited a couple of days, they probably would have had a more measured response. But they saw it, was like pissed off. So they,
But that's what makes them look crazy.
yeah,
And men should never deal off emotions alone, man. You need to
And you know
always
another thing that
ground
I didn't like?
yourself.
You know another thing I didn't like that I took offense to? In the beginning, they talked about the loon situation, and they kind of got at loon for basically saying, what the fuck they say? Loon said he said, "Oh, I'm not talking to niggas who don't got nothing to lose." And then AJ went right on to say, "Don't be talking about my shit in the spaces, or don't be talking about my shit in public to these fucking low level bottom feeders or whatever the fuck he said." It's like, damn nigga, why the fuck you dissing us if your beef is with like why you fuck you dissing everybody that come on the space? That shit was weird.
yeah. And I must say, I don't think any of y'all have ever said anything too crazy about homeroom, like in terms of like disrespect. I think y'all talk about pod narratives because anytime somebody, especially with the Joe Budden podcast, with all these podcasts breaking up, anytime somebody has three people on the pod, everybody gonna talk about them breaking up. Shit, people talking about me and Shammy breaking up already. So, to my understanding, I feel like it's largely been respectful. I could be wrong. I
Man,
mean,
if anything, we kind of giving them praise most of the time. Like
yeah,
nobody's really shitted on that podcast like that.
yeah,
That's why I found it odd because it's like there don't be no real hate, and then even in what you said, that wasn't no real hate. And Jay Nobles or Tone, whatever the fuck, no disrespect to you brothers, but the other thing was they also kind of proved their point with like the shots they were taking. AJ had to come in and take control and try to get where he wanted to go. Like he didn't want to turn it into a disinfest. At least he tried to get to a point. Them other niggas were trying to diss and just saying wild shit, tripping over their words. They didn't really know what they wanted to. That shit was a fucking joke, bro.
yeah. I think it works because a lot of people hate me. Like the Joe fans, just anybody who kicks my back end is gonna be largely praised. Um, yeah. Mr. I don't know, Furious, you gonna talk?
No, no, no. Go ahead, Mr. Morale.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Yo, Danny, man. Once again, I just want to keep giving you praise for everything you're doing. Like, you don't come at these people with like aggression or negativity or hate. Like, I think you look at what's presented to you, you analyze it, and you're constructively critical about it. Like,
Yeah,
if people are sensitive and can't handle it, that's their issue and that's their problem. But like I'm proud of everything you're doing. Keep doing it. Like the fact that they're talking about you is only keeping your name hot. So yeah, just keep up the good work, Danny.
telling y'all right now, you're gonna be mad. I am gonna respond on Sunday with a short clip, and the rest of it will be on Patreon. The rest of it will
I
This
be
shit
love how
we
they
that
said that
easy.
they kept saying during this shit that this shit was gonna be on Patreon as I'm listening to it. I'm like, I'm on Spotify, my nigga. Like, where's this shit on Patreon?
nah. Because the thing is, I don't think it really like. I'm definitely gonna. Because I remember Shammy said he's gonna discuss what they said about him, but that has nothing to do with me. Um, and I booked Mandy's studio to talk about this homeroom thing. So. definitely gonna respond. I'm not gonna respond the way that you know. I'm gonna respond to just kind of what AJ laid out. Also respond. Like I saw some clip the other day, man, that was wild. I was like, I think I shouted out Homeroom, and then I think I was like, yo, Homeroom, shout out to them. They doing their thing. And then I think Tone Groove or Jay Nobles was like, oh man, you glazed and you suck. Some wild shit. Get off my meat. And
Yeah.
I was like, I know it could. I know it's a joke, but like, if I'm genuinely shouting you out, like what the fuck? Like if I'm really like, cause I do like their podcast. I used now I still listen to it from time. I don't have time to listen to it all the time now, like all 3 hours, cause they do long pods or 2 hours. But I genuinely listen to it. Whenever they talk about media that I watch, I don't
So
watch. Go ahead, my bad.
no,
That's
not to cut you
crazy.
off, but I was gonna say if Tone Groove and Jay Nobles are they comedians? Like, are they? Is that kind of how they add to the pod in a sense?
No, they just try to be funny. It seemed like.
I think they. I think Jay Nobles is funny. I think Tone Groove is like kind of like I don't know. Go ahead, Chill. My bad.
What was I about to say? So yeah, I watched the whole thing. I seen Danny in the comments. That shit was funny. And
Yeah.
Danny, how you didn't know you was a mod for them?
I didn't know. I didn't know it was a mod for the YouTube comment section. That shit was crazy. I think they made it, and I was
Hmm.
like surprised. But the thing is, I'm never afraid to go to someone's comment section. Yeah.
Do you think it was a bit of COE because I felt like I seen AJ get like that
40 minutes
before.
ain't COE chill. I'm sorry.
You said what?
40 minutes ain't COE. That was a bit long. I kind of thought it was a COE thing too, but no, that was kind of long. And they shouted me out, so not too much.
But it's
Yeah, they did. But I'm just saying though, it kind of felt like it was building in that 40 minutes of the tension or whatever. Like when you would, I guess, talk to AJ and shit like that. Did you ever feel like that every time you would say they didn't fuck with you?
Oh, what? Like, I mean, I always thought of I compartmentalized. So I always felt like I could be cool with AJ, but not necessarily be cool with Tone Groove and Jay Nobles. That's always how I felt. Like I didn't know they were a package deal. But yeah, I mean, they that's another thing that I'll get to. But
Haven't
Yeah,
they
because
taken shots
I was
before?
definitely gonna ask you about that. Like, how do you feel about them saying, about AJ saying like you can't diss his man's or you can't critique? Because I feel like you just critiqued him. You haven't been dissing them, but he kind of made it seem like you be dissing him and how you gonna be my man's and you think that you could just come over here and diss niggas. I feel like you just be critiquing.
well, I think that you can't. Um, I think AJ would gotta realize like just because he thinks those are lighthearted jokes and shit like that, like they could still be taken away. Um, and it's like just the same way he feels like I ain't hold him down when y'all up here. I ain't think y'all ever said anything crazy too about them. I ain't like so. I think
bro.
this is yeah. Go ahead.
We've only given them praise. I've never heard anybody say nothing crazy about their podcast.
Yeah, I just think they hate social audio, which sometimes I hate. I think everybody has a moment when they hate social audio,
Nah,
so it
they
could look
did
away.
social audio crazy to be using the clips of the social audio.
But with the Rory clip though, I mean, was you ever aware that he had a problem with that beforehand?
Nah, I know he has said that he thought I set him up, and like I maintain, I don't think I set him up. It's like if Furious has a pod, like I've done this. I think I've done this to Furious, where like Imani says, "Yo, I want to see Furious." I'm like, "Yo, Furious." Imani wants it. Like I'll be
They said the
tagging him.
same thing about Dub and Imani when Dub sent it to. They said the same shit.
Yeah, like I just think like I don't know, as content creators, you can choose to come into the space or not. And I think Rory said he wanted to do an interview with them in that. But I think what I was responding to is that I do feel sometimes they change up their opinions like once you meet people. Like I think the same thing with me. Like I think I, sometimes you meet someone and gather a new perspective. Um, but I don't know. It's salute to them. I'm gonna respond because I have to, and I want to. And I think I'm gonna do like an hour on Patreon, and then like maybe 5-10 minutes on YouTube.
I just feel like they were known for too long. That's all. That I fuck with them guys. I definitely like AJ, but they definitely did not have to go. It definitely seemed like there was some vitriol and some real like some shit they been wanted to say. Like it just didn't seem like nothing that just popped in they. I don't know. It was just kind of odd, especially from those other two. Not
Yeah, AJ
disrespect, but
was.
AJ was definitely more concise and knew what he wanted to say and was kind of at least trying to get to some kind of point.
Yeah.
Hey, I did.
AJ and Lauren were, even though Lauren said something, I'm like, I don't know about that. But AJ and Lauren were trying to keep it like streamlined and mainstream, whereas Jay Nobles and Tone Groove looked sincerely affected by what I said.
We're trying to prove your point and what you was kind of saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's tough. Like, if you're a podcaster, you should be able to articulate, a specific point. They was just taking shots, like they was just jabbing at your personality or kind
But
of.
bad shots too. They weren't good
Yeah,
shots. I love
yeah,
a good
yeah. That's
shot.
why.
Take some good shots at my man Danny at least.
Yeah, so it
I,
was just like it just didn't make too much sense. They kind of flopped on it, but it is what it is.
yeah. I think they was like calling me like borderline, like they was like, you're like, I think they almost called me a retard, autistic or some shit, that type of stuff. But
I didn't like how they dissed the spaces that they come and get content from. I ain't really like that after what they said about Luna. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't like that shit.
Man, if we waking it up, them niggas could not hang in these rooms. Like all them jokes, it's cool for a second, but like at the end of the day, can they actually come in these rooms and have actual conversations? I don't think so. That's why they don't do it.
AJ could, but I don't know. I don't know. I never heard Tone Groove or Jay Nobles because I feel AJ's been here before.
If we waking it up, when have you ever
I
heard them
did
really
like
give?
what he said about spaces needs to be more structured though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. As a person who hates structure, I do see his little point in that. But I think that was outside of anything that has to do. So I kind of do see what he meant by that.
What are you saying, Furious?
Nah, when you say structure, what do you mean? You could boot people out your room.
No, not necessarily boot people out your room, but like moderate the conversation, have it going somewhere. Like, and plus, it don't have to always be like that. I do like the Wild Wild West that this shit has sometimes, but I do know what he mean about more a more structured space. Like, it would be dope. Like, we know what we
Come
talking
on,
about.
man. Come on, man. You
I'm
taking
just saying.
you take
I'm
you
just not
taking
mad at it.
you taking feedback from a nigga that don't be on spaces. Like these niggas is giving opinions when they're not even in the rooms to actually give valid opinions. So they just speaking on things they don't know.
Now,
Yeah.
now with this though, I mean, what's this going to start? Because I understand they saying they're not going to speak on it again, but what this is about to start is about to be them commenting on spaces and all of us being on spaces or whatever, and then them doing what they do. So, Danny, I mean, what type of resolution do you want to get off on this shit after that?
I mean, the resolution is just I respond, and we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, I don't want destruction of every platform, but I hope it all. I gotta say my piece.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then the well, no, that Rory shit wasn't too old because I did remember when Rory came back and said he was drunk or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I think sometimes they paint any like they painted our spaces as one that maybe we are beholden to people with a little bit of fame or something. I
Damn.
was like, I don't know. I think we're as pretty. We are the most likely to like treat a celebrity bad here.
Ah, so
And that would
okay.
mean that we have some structure if we did that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even hear the spaces comment, so I can't really like speak to it. So they essentially was saying like, "Oh, we just in here trying to meet Joe, trying to meet whoever pop in here, Rory, etc."
Not they said that something along those lines. Not Joe specific. They said anybody with a little bit of clout, we kind of switch up for like. Well, basically me. I think they also hinted at the peanut gallery, but me, like I default to whoever's in the room or some shit like that. You know.
Yeah, and all the outside comments from the
Yeah, they
peanut
gotta
gallery
nah, they
is
gotta
like
jump into
unnecessary.
spaces kicking it like that. Speaking like that, they gotta jump in here.
I don't know. This is kind of like I don't think after what happened, I think it might be like they could possibly have a tough time like getting their
They're
work.
only gonna come in if it's structured, guys.
Yeah.
You gotta have
So
some structure, a nice name, a moderator. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like two people on stage, three people.
Well, what does a personal text do at this point, Danny, for you?
I think a personal text would be fine. I don't think. Yeah, I swear, people really feel like it's real. I maintain I'm cool with AJ, but Tone Groove and Jay Nobles, we can compartmentalize. We ain't gotta be besties. Like I
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm just saying, as I was watching it, that's why I say like Shells. I feel like it was COE because like the niggas started amping up, and even with, I feel like the low blow was like, oh well, Danny, I said you keep stay in my house, dog. Like that, it's becoming you're calling somebody sensitive, but y'all are having sensitive statements.
I mean, he did say I can stay in this house. I respect that. That definitely did happen.
I didn't think that was too crazy. Yeah, we got that. That's a man shot. I didn't really think that was too crazy.
Man, the way that camera
I
was,
think he
Shells.
was just using it as to say like I really fuck with you, and I wish you would have called. Like he kind of felt like Danny was being sensitive, or you kind of talking about my guys, or my new show, or whatever the fuck exactly Danny was talking about. And it's like, damn, bro, like we talk behind the scenes. Why couldn't you come talk to me? I invited you to stay in my crib, basically meaning like I had a certain level of respect. I don't just invite anybody to my fucking crib. I think
What
that was more his point
about
than trying to stunt Danny.
what about when they talk about how I'm snaking people, I'm stealing people's co-hosts, and they kind of know what it is. Like they text me, well, AJ texts me, he knows what's up as well. Like he knows the same thing. Like this is media. This isn't like Carlito's way, you know.
Could they feel some type of way because of the relationship you had with AJ? Because it just seems like they're
Nah,
harboring some ill will towards you, and it don't seem like it's brand new. It seems like it's
nah,
some
I don't think
history
that.
there.
I don't know. I don't think that.
It's seeming not of men right now. It's seeming real insecure. Seeming real not of men.
It's heavy on the emotions, yo, and
That's
you
what
know it's
see, Ron.
crazy.
That's what I'm saying. And
Shit
Ron
just.
and Ron might got a point with that, Danny. I mean, AJ is older than them, much older, and he harbors them.
You know what's crazy? I remember being like 23, 24. And I was part of a podcast where I was like the J Nobles and Tone Grooves, where I would say reckless shit. And I was the guy that was joking all the time. And my co-host used to have to be like, "Yo, Danny, you be going in too much." So I mean, I get it. I think the pressure to be funny or pressure to kind of look better than is real, and maybe at the point of being, making tangible points, because I don't think that was made. You can kind of jump off the deep end, and I feel like they just responded in the moment. Like I said, you watch the video, they're like, "Oh shit, look at this video." Danny responds, to it, and they watched it and they came back on air. So
And I hate when people watch clips and judge off a clip because if he felt like you should have called him for the original shit, if he felt that hot about it, he should have never talked about it on the pod and waited to call you about it and see what the real smoke was. If that's the case too, if he told about you should have called him, I mean, you kind of deserve the call too.
That's a fact. It should work both ways. Respect go both ways.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
'cause first of all, you listening to a clip that could easily be taken out of context. You know how these spaces go. You know how the clippers do. Niggas got to make it a little salacious and shit, so they might X out the part where the nigga really did big you up or something, or maybe he was joking and you could tell. Like that's fucked up.
yeah. I mean, I agree with somebody when somebody was saying that it's COE. I think it is that because it was funny how when the clip came on like mid, pie, and they was like, "Oh yeah, let's talk about it." So I don't know, but then again, what they were saying was some type of shit that I felt like felt like they wanted to say, and then the nigga was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put some shit on Patreon. Like, I got more to say." So I don't know what more he got to say, but very interesting.
Yes, sir.
No, he was saying he was gonna put that on Patreon, and then I guess he later decided not to.
Oh nah, but he did say like he got some more to say. He like, yeah, niggas gotta pay. Like, cause I guess one of the niggas was like, nah, we can say it right here. But I guess he was saying like he still got some to say on the
I
Patreon type
feel
shit.
like they planned on cutting it, and then they realized how juicy it was and how it was gonna up the numbers and get the people talking. So they're like, you know what? Let's just leave it in, because yeah, who's going to go get the Patreon for this?
Yeah, they taking a page out of Joe book.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's not bad, man. Talking about me is not bad. So
How much is they Patreon?
I don't know. Let me check. Menace. I think it's Homeroom University. Homeroom University Patreon.
Go ahead and cop that Patreon.
Salute, yeah, man. All right, it is $5 for the undergrad. Mine's is $3. Y'all cop both. Homeroom University and the Stop.
So Danny,
Stop University.
when they stop university, when they spoke on the whole with you putting out the content on them being used by Joe. Did you say that? Did you say that you didn't want to seem like a hater? That you was going to put it out anyway?
Wait, what do you mean?
They said
No,
that.
they said that. I feel like.
Yeah, they said that. They said that. No, no, they said that Danny said that he was going to put that type of content out anyway, but he didn't want to put it out close to when they were on Joe because he didn't want to feel like a hater.
No, I mean, I would say, like, if I really felt some type of way, like, emotional about it, I would have made up. You got to be up, man. I would have addressed it right then and there. But doing it months later to me means like it was like me more covering Joe more than it was about them. You know, like it was because I do cover the Joe Budden pod, so I wanted to talk about it for a while because I do still think that they were used, and in some way, and I was definitely some ways used by Adam when he had me on his. So yeah, it's like it's all the game. It's all the same.
And
Hey
what?
man,
And was
it's a
AJ really interested in the young jumper no jumper shit? Because it felt like when he came off, he wasn't interested in it.
Oh no, I won't talk about that because I don't want to speak for what he felt.
Still trying to take the high ground, even though see that's why I feel like that Shells. I feel like they took a low ground, Ron Shells. So
No.
Wait, I ain't hear you, Chill. What'd you say?
I was just saying that's why I felt like it was COE. Like I felt like some of the stuff, like as listening, at first I was like, okay, maybe they got a little point, but then I'm like, okay, as they going in, I'm like, maybe it's just a little COE because if you feel that way, like this is like, oh, I didn't give a fuck about the no jumper shit. Oh, I wasn't gonna be, trying to represent them anyway, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Nah, bro. I just feel like they really sounded hurt. 45, 50 minutes on that topic was just a little bit much, and I don't know. They definitely didn't come off level headed. They definitely seemed like they were upset. They literally used Loon's move that they diss Loon for doing. Like, I don't know. A lot was going on there,
But
but
see,
we'll see in the reaction.
here's the crazy part. It seemed like they felt some type of way about somebody's critique of their actions, not their performance on the pod. They went up there to do what they needed to do. They did their year end wrap up, but looking at what was said on that episode, somebody could take that as you shooting at people for Joe. He gave y'all a list of people that y'all can't talk about. Y'all didn't talk about them, but everybody he wanted to shit on.
Wait, hold on. Did he do that? Wait, hold on. He did that?
They said that on the pod.
They said that
Oh,
themselves as
so,
well. This is not really news, Shell, but real talk. He said
okay.
we not going to talk about these few people, but we are allowed to talk about these people. The people in question that they were allowed to talk about are people they normally kick backs in, Charlemagne and Loon. So it was like, oh, excuse me, they were not supposed to talk about Loon. You know what I mean? He was one of the people that wasn't
But
supposed
they
to be
did talk
named.
about him.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's like if somebody feel that Joe was being manipulative, how do you personalize that and feel like somebody personally taking shots at you? That's actually just being like that's why he from my perspective, it just seemed like Danny was saying that's why I don't like Joe in my spaces like that because he can manipulate people. So I like to keep distance. Whereas y'all got flued out. I mean, it is what it is. So because of that, because of that separation, it seemed like they feel some type of way.
Oh, that was the shot, getting flued out like a baddie.
It's not a shot, man. It's just a fact. It's not a shot, and that's what I'm
That
saying.
is
So
also normal practice. I am gonna say something about that. I've seen how niggas was taking a shot at them for that, but is that not normal practice in the industry? Like when you doing an interview, want to interview somebody, 8 times out of 10, if they're not in the same city, you kind of are flying them out, making
Nah,
sure
it is.
that you get what they want. Like that is kind of normal practice.
Yep. Yep. That's true. And I
Just
think
saying,
that's
just
what they
saying.
were upset about. I
did
think.
Adam fly you out, Danny?
Oh man, I was a baddie. Baddie.
First class.
Nah, nah, not first class. Nah, I paid my way, so that did not
Yeah,
happen.
I'm just saying, man.
Oh,
It's a
so that's
separation.
different.
It's a
Wait, you
separation,
really
man.
paid your way, Danny?
Yes, sir.
One thousand
Nah, you
percent, bro.
wildin'. You next time you gotta tell them to pay. That don't work like that.
Nah, man, you
Listen,
gotta put in the work.
Shells.
Look, I
I'm gonna
paid
be
my
honest,
way.
Shells.
Wait. I paid my way. I bought a nice ass hotel. I'm sorry. I was gonna make my way no matter what.
I
You came out your own
Mm,
pockets, huh?
yeah. Shout out to Joe. He paid my way.
Facts, man. When you say
That's
Joe
Right.
nuts.
Joe paid for both of us, for Menace and me. So
Shot. Save it for the rebuttal, man. Save it for the rebuttal.
facts.
Yeah, facts. I can't wait to hear that shit.
anyway, let's move off it.